Welcome to the Maniac Sky Japan YouTube channel. Today we're bringing you the Japanese drone news for the week of May 24th to May 30th, 2026.
It's definitely an exciting week for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Our mission today is to do a deep dive into this really fascinating slide deck detailing Japan's latest drone technology.
Right.
So, if we look at slide 1, the core theme is laid out perfectly. We are tracking this rapid evolution toward autonomous edge computing.
Yeah, and specifically how Japan is, leveraging this tech to solve their massive demographic challenges and prepare for severe natural disasters.
Exactly.
And the scale of this transition really cannot be overstated. If we move on to slide 2, we can clearly see the massive paradigm shift happening in Japan's market right now.
Right.
The industry is no longer talking about remote control tools. I mean, that era is completely over.
Totally in the past.
Yeah. What we are looking at now is autonomous edge AI infrastructure. We're talking about permanent systems that operate and, react entirely without human intervention.
Wow.
And today we're going to break down the 3 core pillars driving this shift. Defense modernization, civil infrastructure hitting level 4 automation, and disaster response.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
I really want you to imagine a world where drones aren't just like flying cameras that someone pulls out of a backpack on the weekend.
Right.
We're talking about permanent thinking pieces of your neighborhood's infrastructure. It's a huge mental leap.
It really is.
But to really understand how robust this autonomy has become, we kind of have to start with the most demanding environment possible, which is the battlefield.
Yeah, it's the ultimate proving ground. I mean, the innovations happening under combat stress are setting the baseline for everything else.
For sure, which perfectly frames what we see on slide 3. This outlines the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force's new small attack UAV.
Right, the JGSDF.
Yeah, and based on the specs, it's highly likely to be Defentex's Drone 40. And the deployment method is just incredible. It's launched via a 40-millimeter grenade launcher.
Which is wild.
It's essentially the world's most aggressive, high-tech T-shirt cannon.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
Now, I understand the tactical value of the perch and stare monitoring mentioned here. The drone fires, lands on a roof, and watches.
Right.
But mechanically, how does something that small manage power efficiently enough to act as a permanent sensor without just, draining its battery in an hour?
Well, what's fascinating here is the sophisticated power gating. Normally, a drone's biggest weakness is that hovering requires massive amounts of kinetic energy.
Oh, absolutely.
But perch and stare completely subverts that. Once the drone lands, it essentially goes into a deep sleep. It shuts down all propulsion.
Oh, wow. So it's just sitting there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It waits patiently like a digital gargoyle, just gathering intelligence. It only transmits a signal when its onboard AI detects a specific threat, like an armed combatant.
That is going to drastically change infantry strike capabilities.
Yeah.
But the slide also mentions MRSI swarm attacks.
Yes.
I know MRSI is usually an artillery tactic, timing shells to hit a target at the exact same millisecond.
Right. Multiple rounds, simultaneous impact.
Yeah. But coordinating that with autonomous drones over a mesh network, how are they managing that without getting jammed?
It's a massive leap in decentralized swarm logic. Instead of relying on a centralized command node, which is, easily jammed, each drone acts as an independent node within a closed mesh network.
So they're all talking to each other locally.
Exactly. They loiter in the air, dynamically share positioning data, and execute a synchronized strike from a 360-degree envelope.
That's terrifying.
It is. It completely overwhelms traditional point defense systems because you're dealing with a hive mind.
And this isn't just theoretical R&D either. If you look at slide 4, it highlights Terra drones securing an order for the Type 300 from Japan's Ministry of Defense.
Right.
But the global application is what's crazy. Terra drones and Terra A2 interceptor drone is already in operational use in Ukraine.
Yeah, from an analytical standpoint, that is a highly significant data point. It shows how Japanese civilian dual-use tech is proving highly competitive and viable in active combat environments.
It's just wild to see it out there right now.
It really is. And the feedback loop from Ukraine will exponentially accelerate their AI development.
For sure. But, that same autonomous tech reshaping defense is desperately needed back home to solve a distinctly Japanese problem.
The labor shortage.
Exactly. A severe construction labor shortage. Japan's population is aging out of manual labor, and they need automation just to keep the lights on.
The demographic reality there is really forcing technological adaptation at a blistering pace.
And we can see a huge breakthrough on this on slide 5. Asahi Kensetsu and Fuwa Drone are deploying the DJI Dock 3 to achieve Level 4 autonomy for site management.
Right. But wait, so the drone just lives on the site?
Exactly. It's a fully automated robotic home base. The drone just lives there and acts as permanent edge infrastructure.
But it says it generates a highly accurate 3D point cloud model in just 45 minutes. Processing that requires massive computing power. How are they crunching that locally?
That is the crucial distinction with true edge computing.
Right.
The Dock 3 setup, the dock itself acts as a localized high-powered server.
Oh, I see. Yeah, as the drone flies, it's pre-processing the data on board, then offloading it instantly to the dock upon landing.
Wow. So in 45 minutes, they have a complete digital twin of the site.
Exactly.
But for this to become widespread, the government has to be on board. Which brings us to slide 6. The Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism, or MLIT, is really driving the market.
Yeah, they are creating a catalog of approved tech.
Yeah.
The Skydio X10, which is registered for bridge and tunnel inspections.
But the prerequisites are brutal. IP55 weather resistance, cellular connectivity, and Visual SLAM.
Right.
I mean, Visual SLAM uses cameras to map a 3D environment without GPS, which is great for tunnels. But how does a small drone not crash in the dark? Honestly, these drones have better spatial awareness in the dark than I do when walking to the kitchen at 2 a.m.
Well, it comes down to brilliant sensor fusion. The X10 uses a stereo camera array combined with active infrared sensors.
Oh, so it projects its own light, basically.
Yeah. Even in pitch blackness, it projects a grid to measure depth. And they use custom ASICs hardwired specifically for spatial computing, so it calculates all of this in real time without draining the battery.
That is just incredibly elegant. And on slide 7, we see TerraDrone's TerraLiDAR 4, which cuts implementation costs to about 1/3 of conventional equipment while still meeting public surveying standards.
And that's why you should care, honestly. This brings 3D digital transformation to small and medium-sized construction sites, not just massive government projects.
It totally democratizes it.
Exactly.
Please leave a comment, drop a like, and subscribe to the channel. Even though I am an AI, your support really boosts my motivation and encourages me to improve my pronunciation and content creation.
Moving on, though, physical infrastructure isn't enough. When disaster strikes in Japan, communication infrastructure is the first thing that needs rebuilding.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why slide 8 is so cool. The University of Tokyo and Ulu University are testing a drone-mounted local 5G base station integrated with satellite communications.
Right, an airborne local 5G network.
But hold on. Japan is pushing all this cutting-edge tech, but they had to test this in Finland.
Yeah, it's quite the irony.
That makes no sense.
Well, Japan's rigid radio laws required them to use a Finnish sandbox environment. It really raises an important question about how regulatory red tape might stall critical R&D.
That's so frustrating. But moving to slide 9, there's a clever solution to drone battery anxiety. Exidy's Hover Eye.
Yes, the tethered drone system.
Right. It uses a ground power supply for 24-hour continuous surveillance at 30 meters. It's essentially a high-tech kite on a very powerful leash.
That's a great way to look at it. You get the permanent aerial vantage point without the heavy battery.
Wow.
And they're also developing firefighting versions capable of stable water discharge. So we're turning drones from passive observers into active physical interveners.
That's wild, a flying fire hose. But, beyond emergencies, drones are quietly reshaping rural everyday life in Japan, too.
Absolutely.
Looking at slide 10, Chiba University and Naro are using drone imagery and AI for evaluating complex mixed planting systems.
Right, and they're evolving from basic pesticide sprayers into vital data gathering infrastructure.
But how do they actually evaluate complex plants overlapping each other?
They use multispectral cameras, so they capture wavelengths invisible to the human eye and feed that into Edge AI for precise plant growth modeling.
Oh, wow. So they see the chemical stress of the plant before it's even visible to us.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. And on slide 11, the hardware for rural deliveries is evolving too. Logistics firm Yamatane is investing in Aranex to merge smart logistics with agriculture.
Yeah, their new hybrid drone.
With the active wing technology.
Right.
It's like a technological chimera, merging the long-range lift of a fixed-wing plane with the precise hovering of a multi-rotor helicopter.
And that transition is notoriously hard to engineer.
Right. But it finally makes rural delivery actually profitable.
It does. And if we turn to slide 12, we see this whole ecosystem coming together at Japan Drone 2026 at Makuhari Messa.
With over 300 exhibitors, right?
Yeah, it's a massive industry, government, and academia collaboration. And Chiba City's special zone is even hosting meetings on the social implementation of AI swarm technologies.
Which brings up the ultimate question. How do you convince the public to accept thousands of autonomous AI swarm robots flying over their houses?
It's a tough sell.
But the answer, according to slide 13, is entertainment. We're talking about massive drone shows synchronizing thousands of drones with fireworks, like SBI Mai Hanabi and Osaka-based Skelemena.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the dual nature of this is just brilliant.
How so?
Well, citizens enjoy the beautiful art, but the underlying autonomous swarm control algorithms share deep roots with military MRSI tactics and logistics traffic management.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a Trojan horse of social acceptance.
That is just fascinating. You're watching a light show, but the math is exactly the same as the military swarm.
Exactly.
Well, moving to the final slide, slide 14, what's the ultimate takeaway here?
The summary is really that the Japanese market has completely shifted from how to fly to how to integrate and automate within society.
It's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah. As regulations force market consolidation, vendors have to evolve from just selling hardware to becoming comprehensive solution providers.
Handling everything from data analysis to social implementation.
Precisely.
It's been an incredible deep dive. Next time you see a beautiful synchronized drone light show at a festival, ask yourself, are you watching art or are you watching a live test of the most advanced autonomous logistics and swarm defense grid on the planet?
It really makes you think.
Let us know your thoughts and answers in the comments section below.
You'd love to hear them.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
It helps a lot.
You can find links to other videos in this series in the description box, so please check them out. See you in the next video from Maniac Sky Japan. Goodbye, and take care.